Well, hello there. It's a Sunday afternoon, and we have passed 4 days, I think, since our last episode.
I just get so excited to just hop on and talk to you online.
Yeah, I totally believe that. Totally. Anyways, to our viewers out there, it's another episode of Weekly Mojo with your host, Madison Jessica.
That's
A Sunday treat here in October, spooky season. Anyways, we're
looming on your zodiac season.
Well, sure. That's on the back half of this month for sure.
Mr. Scorpio. We got a lot of Scorpio birthdays around us.
Yeah, like my brother shares a freaking birthday.
Same fucking day. Also,
he'll be 27.
At Overland Park also has the exact same birthday as you. I found out last week. Yeah.
Cool.
Wild, right?
Yeah.
Molly's birthday is the 29th.
I got some friends whose birthday is the 25th. Your mom's birthday is the 27th.
Yeah, Jesse's birthday is the 23rd.
I got some other family members, and you've got some other family members who are in early November.
Yeah.
How far do we want to stretch this out?
Scorpio, November Scorpio. Apparently, they're scary.
This is my Tio Carlos. My Tio Carlos is a November Scorpio.
Oh. Do we think that checks out?
Oh, 100%. It sounds exactly right.
They're quieter and they're.
Oh, he's not quiet. There's nothing quiet about my Tio Carlos. And I love him for it.
That's fucking funny. I feel like what I meant by quieter, I meant more like calculated in that sounds bad.
Well, I'm sure in his corporate, life he can be, efficient, let's say. I'm sure he's a respected businessman.
When to speak and when not to speak. That's what
he knows how to speak impactfully.
Yeah, there you go.
It's women who have to do that one. That's why you were like, right. The framing is a little different.
I forget all of these things. I don't play well.
You're scrolling Amazon while you're live on a podcast that you host.
This was meant to be done before we went live, and then we did. And then I basically was trying to figure out how we're going to get that barn canvas to stay put.
Should we pay our Airbnb mortgage bill?
Yeah, we can do that online.
We don't have to share our camera with them, but we can do it and they can see us what we're doing.
Talk about the weekly bad bitch. I can't wait to bring us Eartha Kitt. We were able to host my teas last weekend while you were doing a hackathon.
Yeah.
Holy shit! It's been no wonder you're fucking tired, dude.
Well,
you learned how to code an entirely brand new way.
Yeah, I learned it's a programming framework.
Yeah.
It was Python,
now
which I already knew. But yeah, well, not fully, but we're getting closer to it. That's for sure. We haven't minted her yet, so of course she's not on here. Go to the gallery.
Oh yeah.
No one can see what I'm looking at. So, anyways, where do I transfer this to?
Just do it to the Fidelity account.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so that is neither of those.
We can pay for our Airbnb to continue for another month. Woohoo!
Yeah, that's the real life of managing a business and managing cash flow.
Dude, I mean, listen, I understand there she is.
Right. Here, let me start
the privilege that we
the screen.
Have. In being able to say that we own a property that we can rent out.
Right, I know. I'm bringing it up though because we're inside of it, and we're bringing you inside
to the barn.
Exactly.
It's been cool to get back to her. I loved designing her. This is our first house, so it was just a matter of bringing her to life in all of the ways that I would have loved to see her.
When we lived. So we're not property speculators so much as this was our first home that we bought together.
Right. This was 7 times was the charm in Ann Arbor. Holy shit, we put in on so many houses before.
Oh yeah, it was very hard to actually get this house. Can we scoot this way?
Yeah. All right. We're gonna slide you
safely.
Slide to the left.
Slide to the right.
Crisscross. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Okay.
Looks pretty good. Okay. Now I can sit comfortably.
Cool.
Okay. Sorry about that. I know I'm just a sideshow character.
Bro, It takes a village. Let's be real.
Yeah, but there's Chelsea Handler and there's Chewie.
Okay, I understand. I guess you're choosing the Robin to my Batman only for the fact that you have
There's
your
Conan
own
O'Brien,
other shows.
and there's Andy Richter.
Oh my god. But what about James Gordon?
Who's James Gordon?
The carpool karaoke guy.
Whoever's in the seat next to him plays that role. Or he plays that role for the person who's in the seat next to him.
I feel like that's you. You're emceeing with me. That's definitely like what it
This is your show.
Like, yeah, my carpool karaoke. I'll bring you all the good vibes. I'm just gotta have a curator. I can't wait to see this input. But this looks a little intimidating.
What does that mean? Oh, yeah. So I read the directions already.
Okay.
And it is intimidating.
Oh, fuck.
But I do think it's doable.
Okay.
Well,
at least
I can. You want to show it up to people so they understand what we're talking about?
Yeah, sure.
That's not
the box
anything.
is back behind.
Right. Yeah. This is what I was looking for. Not that and this isn't an endorsement for a war contractor. Just to be clear.
Right.
This is just the cheapest one we could find at Menards, and
Right.
we're Midwest as fuck, and this is an Airbnb.
And we can control it remotely, which is fantastic when you
Exactly.
Airbnb.
Yeah, we need to make sure that the pipes don't freeze here, of course, but at the same time, we don't need to throw energy when no one's in the house.
Exactly. 222 as we speak.
The TL. Well, are you gonna do some tarot cards for us today?
I mean, we can do.
You should do a reading.
That honestly feels very.
It feels very Eartha Kitt, very spooky season. We are in Ann Arbor in autumn. We're going to a cider mill later.
Ooh,
anyways, this.
Fucking donuts, and I'm so here.
Oh yeah, and the apple cider. Okay, so this comes with wiring, right? And basically,
wild!
I have to map out the wiring that exists in that one before I pull it out, so that I can remap it to the new one. And basically, depending if there's 3 wires, 4 wires, or 5 wires, there's different patterns that I'll have to follow. It's not super hard, but it's way more complicated than technically anything I've ever done before.
It's like,
yes,
so a few more wires than the lights that we've put in.
I'm not an engineer. I've never taken those classes, so I've never done that shit.
I skated through those classes. Those were some of my worst classes was hardware. That's
the only time I've ever played with hardware is when Matt helped me build a computer, which, I'm hiring him now to help us build the validators with KU. Is that like fully? I mean, we can't fully say that.
Okay, that's so cool though because we were able to talk. That was like a few episodes ago at this point.
We have 3 U of M. We have
Adam at KU Innovation Park.
Yeah, I mean, we were gonna not fully say those things since that part's the not solidified part. But anyway, still shout out to them for giving me a great platform to talk about marketing and advertising at the very least.
That lunch and learn was very, very cool to see, and they've done a lot since you went to that last one.
And the Paul A.I. Allen, Paul A.I. Allen, that was his. That's how he brands himself. I want to make sure I got that right because I really liked his presentation.
Paul A.I. Allen.
Yes.
Okay.
He didn't connect with me on LinkedIn, but he had no reason to either. Other than I fucking work in his space and I love his space, but he wouldn't know that, so it doesn't matter. But he founded Ancestry.com, which eventually got gobbled up by the same PE group that.
That's wild.
But he got kicked out of that company back in 2006.
That's so long ago.
And he wants to build 17 AI companies to uplift humanity. That being said, he's still kind of got the same vision that I do in terms of we need this decentralized mesh protocol to give people control over their digital identity and stuff. And he's like, these are the 17 companies I need to build to make this whole thing work. I'm like, yeah, but you need it to be more of an ecosystem and less of, the thing you're controlling. But I get it. What is it? Apple put.
It seems like a lot. It feels like it's probably microorganisms within a larger maybe
these are the base software protocols that are needed for these large industries that depend on the internet.
Okay.
That's
so,
how I
are
would
we
describe
trying to incorporate them in this new world? Because I don't think they've done a great job with the data.
The
that
industries will
in the first
exist.
place.
The industries will exist. The companies that exist in those industries is what will change. People,
Say that last part. Okay, go ahead.
the travel industry. People will always need to travel. There will always be businesses to service people's travel needs. The companies that meet and service those needs are what can change. And the incumbent companies are the bad actors that could get weeded out by new technology systems being introduced.
I see.
But the industry still exists and would go on and would take the collective knowledge
It's like
of what
Abercrombie
has
basically
been.
fat shaming everybody in the 2000s, and now they completely rebranded into clothing that everyone like.
No, it's basically
I feel like that still sticks, but go ahead.
It's basically like the railroad industry getting outcompeted by the airline industry because they don't realize they're in the transportation business.
Well, do you think that transportation was just killed by the airline industry? Because how much more effective are high-speed rail systems in Europe?
That's not the point. They got outcompeted in the original basis, and the train industry hasn't been able to capitalize to compete with the new train industry outside.
Who owns the trains? Is the Vanderbilt?
Amtrak.
Oh.
Which is a publicly owned company, which means it's owned by BlackRock and Vanguard.
Oh, so they're just being extorted for the the most dollar. I get it, but I'm like, who built the train industry prior to Amtrak like being public? Is it the Vanderbilts?
He might be one of the train people. Yeah, I think Carnegie and Vanderbilt are the train people, and then I think J.P. Morgan. I think they're obviously the banking industry now, but they were the oil industry, I believe, at one point. Standard Oil, I believe, is where their money comes from, which was the largest oil company, and it had to be broken up into like 17 different companies because.
Were they based out of the U.S.?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're done. Well, we can't export as much out of our land, or we don't want to because that would be wasting our resources. So we're choosing to waste other people's resources.
No, the modern day equivalent, I would imagine, is if Jeff Bezos broke up Amazon into a bunch of little companies and then set up a Federal Reserve Bank that recapitalized the country.
But how far off from that is he? Like, because he's kind of.
Anyways, I'm going to get off Paul A.I. Allen's page because I'm sure he doesn't want to be branded with this too much. But
yeah, sorry.
Based off of.
Sorry, but
no. Based off of his the presentation he had, he led with "He's a Christian," and that really influences the way he approaches things. And that was a recurring theme that I think he also is very much in the battle of good versus evil moment of right now.
It makes sense.
So I don't think he cares that much that we're talking about it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, I don't want to keep.
Would love to talk to you about it further.
Yeah, exactly.
Lunch and learn.
Exactly.
Thanks, Chris, again for hosting that.
Yeah, and for inviting me to the next one, which is on my birthday.
Oh hell! Oh shit! You're gonna be busy over your birthday.
Yeah.
You got that, and then there's something else. Like
no, it's the same thing.
Oh, it's the same thing. Oh,
yeah,
they're. Cool.
It's actually the next lunch and learn. It's sort of like I think it's sort of more of an invite only lunch and learn.
Yeah.
Because it's a tech council thing. Wait, I'll just pull it up. I got it on my calendar. It's the Capital Raise Boot Camp and Investor Networking thing. But
hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean. Obviously, I'm raising some money or trying to. I get to see Taylor Clausen again. I tried to reach out through their website, never heard back.
Dude, if I could say, and I don't know what life before COVID was, but like nobody responds to emails. It probably takes like 3 or 4 emails, and even if we do, it's like, who has the bandwidth? Communicate anymore. We're all like fucking bogged down.
Well, I just got the best intro I've ever gotten from, again, one of these types of connections, because Chris used to be at UMKC before he went to KU.
Yeah.
And his, partners and the partners in crime at UMKC, I'm still participating in basically the same conversation over there.
Cool.
And so
with Jeff Blackwell.
Yeah.
And I miss Mark.
Yeah.
They're fun.
It's all of them, and and it's Jennifer, and it's also why.
Jill and
Yes, it's
Jill.
Jill. It's both Jills. Although I really only know Jill Meyer well.
Yeah, I have. The whole ecosystem is very cool. UMKC, just like we're very lucky to be in the KC ecosystem. That's for sure. Just the Midwest in general. We're ready to build it out because, damn, she's a gem in the heartland.
Right.
Fox, speak about other gems.
Well, we're building bridges across the heartland. That's part of why we're still in Ann Arbor, you know?
True. Yeah, that is why we're here. You getting to hang out with friends and family and being able to enjoy the last bits of Michigan summer into fall. Boy, was that a hell of a situation of games though yesterday. Did not realize
disappointing.
That our Pacific friends we're now coast to coast in the Big Ten. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and Michigan got whomped by 2 Pacific Northwest teams, so I'm not happy about that.
Hey, I am so happy about our Nebraska cherry pick season finally. And why does it feel like I'm just watching KC 2.0? Go Chiefs and go Big Red. Ribby-doo. Oh yeah, we were in charge of doing this.
Right. Do we want to finish this?
Yeah, probably at some point. That's okay. Things aren't live until Monday. The banks don't work, and this is why we should get rid of the banks, because middleman shouldn't be able to control your money on the outside.
Yeah, if I want to move money on a Sunday, crypto, I can move it, but why bank, blah, blah, it takes forever.
It takes 2 days to get anything from one bank to another when I'm like, I know the money is moving from one to the other.
What is this bank called again?
It's UMB Bank.
UMB Bank. It's the rounding number. Yeah. So annoying.
All the joys of running an asset that sometimes feels like an ass-ache, but that is life. Enjoying the highs and lows.
All right, how much are we sending over?
This one is 2,500. And we still have to take care of the PMI. Because Buck are very
we'll take care of it when we call in about the policy update.
I've got it all sitting there, so we can do that tomorrow potentially. Feel free to join us if you like.
All right.
Dude, like having these conversations on the phone is awful.
What do you mean?
It is preserved. That place called.
I don't know.
I
hope we don't get sued for that.
Oh, we won't get sued for that. That wasn't Trump. It was a guy impersonating Trump in order to make a bunch of statements about spirituality in the pineal gland, and I thought it was brilliant.
Funny.
I will give him a shout out because he deserves it. His name is Nick Zai or Zay or whatever.
Oh, he looks like if JD Vance.
He's like this crazy weird hippie TikToker, but his content. Yeah.
Funny.
His content's good though. It makes me think, and I think thinking is good.
What's his name?
Nick Zai.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Cool.
Anyway,
I forgot we're doing a fucking show.
Right. Well,
I mean, a new recommendations quarter.
Yeah. Well, here's a live recommendation from me to you. That's what this show's about. We're not a polished live show.
No, this is just welcome to the insides of our house.
Right? Obviously, the podcast version of this will be cleaned up, and some of this meta commentary will probably stay in. No, I mean it definitely will, because I'm going to remove the ums and the gaps and the whatever for the podcast at the very least, because we've got a tool that we can use for that. It's called Script.
Hell yeah!
And I can literally type in the script. And also we can record your voice and my voice so that if we need to edit, we can rewrite what we said.
Oh, like Ali Ward style?
No, like AI rewrites
Ooh,
our
that's
words
so
as we're
weird.
talking. So let's say I flub and say a word weird, I can like adjust the flub
Keep
and
it
say the
raw.
word, and it hears
Nah,
me.
we gotta stay real with the people, you know.
Oh wow,
But we will do our corrections corners.
cool.
That's for sure.
Well, you know,
We'll have plenty
I
of
do
fun.
so much experimenting with AI. We'll see what happens.
I should have done a Santa baby after my grandpa goes, "Oh, I know Eartha, Santa baby."
Okay, so we took care of that.
Mhm.
Eartha Kit is up. We're not going to watch them or make them watch us Minted today because, you know, this has been
You've done
already
it enough at
haphazard.
this point.
Right. That being said, I minted the last one and our wallet is dry.
Oh, okay, that sounds about right.
I wasn't even able to list it halfway through, and then
That's
we ran out.
It's a hard knock life out here, y'all.
Yeah,
But
it's a lot. We
crypto's
can
having
make it
a
later.
fine enough day.
Yeah, well, also, like, we're early, guys, as they said. We're early.
This is investment just as much as anything else. It's just knowing that
Yeah.
somebody else can't touch your fucking money.
If you guys didn't know, this is a pro crypto show. That is part of why we're producing it. The NFT collection is very much a part of our funding mechanism. And we would appreciate it if you'd consider collecting them. Not only are there benefits for you, if you do, but it helps support this show and our continued work on it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, who doesn't want to support a bad bitch? And if you love a story, like, view, subscribe, comment, share
Tell
with
us
your
the
friends.
story you
Share with
want.
your
Share a bad
friends.
bitch with us.
Totally, always looking for
God,
other bad.
we're looking, pin a bad bitch. Put her on blast.
Hashtag bad bitch of history. Please let me find them, you know?
Yeah, we need more stories. We can only tell so many. I mean, obviously, go look at our website. We've got a bunch. And
We've got so many in the queue, and
Yeah.
I just did another one, which was cool.
But this is season 1.
Hell yeah. We've
And-
got 256 to do, so
And if we do that many and there's still energy for more, we'll keep going.
LOL.
Right? How many will you do?
You know, we'll end up finding another project that reiterates on itself, and we'll see what it ends up looking like. That's
Yeah.
probably what ends up happening.
Yeah, well, that's probably natural.
Very true. I mean, not to say
We
that
won't
I
cancel the
enjoy
show.
it.
We'll just, obviously update the
Reiterate.
commentary.
At 256, we'll see where we're at. You know, hopefully.
I mean, the show is Weekly Mojo. It's open ended for a reason.
Exactly right.
It's
But
a
been
platform to
fun
spew.
to give platforms to the bad bitches of history.
Right, which is, the main storytelling element we have today.
Can
At
we
our
get
disposal.
a ChatGPT narration of my bad bitch, who I love how she's transcended so many different generations. The fact that my grandpa called out Santa baby is his recollection of her in the 50s, or from the 50s. My experience with her is the fact that she was going to be the inspiration for my costume, and she is Yzma on The Emperor's New Groove. What a bad bitch. I mean, to be able to, she's the same independent thinker, but like to see her transcend through different generations in so many impactful ways is very cool. The fucking fact that she was Catwoman, like, what a goddamn queen, you know? This is Mother. Fuck Iggy. This is Mother. Finally.
I'm not necessarily sure Earth and Mother compete on the same figure,
She is Mother. If Stevie Nicks is Mother for the spiritual, like, song community, I mean, Eartha Kitt's just like for the creator community. The singer, the actor, the independent thinker. I keep calling her that because I just fucking love her stance on don't buy me diamonds, buy me land. Diamonds I'm scared of. people are gonna look and take it, and I have to like not be excited about it. But she's like, buy me land if you really love me. Because that shit doesn't go anywhere and it just appreciates. And I'm like, I appreciate that fucking stance. What a brilliant ass bitch.
Very bougie.
I mean, like,
I like
let's
it.
be real though.
It's a smart
You
financial stance.
You love a snob, and she embodies
I love a smart financial stance.
best elements of own your own fucking shit, you know?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. All right. Well.
Are you narrator 1 or 2?
I was 1 before. You can be number 1 today.
He was number 1.
Yes, Scotty. No, what is it?
Oh, Smitty won.
It's Smitty. I know. I didn't. Smitty Webenheimer.
He was number 1.
It was the head.
Smitty Werben Jaeger Man Jensen. Of course. Of course.
Hell yeah.
He was number 1.
God, that's a good. We really gotta make that into a sticker. A sink or swim out. That would be a fun one too.
Oh yeah, we can't pull that up. But we do have a fun holiday party, and if you're friends with us, you should attend because you probably got an invite from a text you thought was spam, and that was just our work phone.
And if you didn't get a text, let me know, and I'll let you know if you can come.
Yeah, exactly. I guess there are some people who are not welcome, but I not really sure why we're telling them that.
We're just gonna. Things are just gonna work out the way they're supposed to.
Yeah. Anyways, narrator 1. That's me. So let's talk about Eartha Kitt. You know, that fierce, unforgettable voice that could stop you in your tracks. But there's so much more to her story than just Santa Baby or her role as Catwoman.
All right. Hey,
it's funny because those are the talking points you've led with.
No, but literally, I was like, what did you feed it with?
I didn't feed it with that info.
That's nuts. Can you please tell me?
I don't think ChatGPT is capable of listening to us, but it might
the
be.
Story in 2-person voice. That is wild. That's so funny. Oh my god. Okay. Holy shit. 1927, and she's still going. Oh, she's a Cappy. Although now apparently she's a Sagittarius.
Nah, that was 80 years ago. I bet she was still a Cappy.
It's like the
I'm just kidding.
Still the same shit, right? Like they just changed the name, but whatever. Meant to be incredible. Oh, absolutely. Eartha was born in South Carolina. Oh, fuck. The devastation. Did they get hit as well?
Yeah, the western parts of South Carolina. I'm pretty sure.
God,
also
yeah, Jesus, fuck FEMA, and I hope that everyone is able to like.
I'm sure not everyone in FEMA is being a bureaucratic asshole, and some people are actually helping people. But yeah, I'm hearing terrible stories of, red taping the supplies and taking inventory. What I've heard is take your supplies directly to a church. FEMA's not messing with church stuff at the moment. So, and also you have to lie wherever you're traveling and say that you live where you're going. Otherwise, they'll try and stop you. So, little white lies to help people never hurt anyone.
Why? So is that for like people that are going into
to different areas? You have to say that you live in that area, otherwise they'll turn you around because you're not permitted or authorized.
I didn't know that you could permit or authorize somebody into a free country.
Yeah, these are declared disaster zones, which means they fall under something kind of like martial law.
Sure. Interesting.
But it's not martial law, but it kind of
is. Just kind of sounds like
it's like my guns are bigger than yours type stuff.
But it just kind of sounds like they're just trying to maintain the information going in and out of there.
Yeah, because they've grounded UAVs, which are drones, and they won't allow citizens to do drone surveillance to go look for citizens that might be trapped in some of the debris, even though they were doing that. They stopped citizen private helicopters, and this kind of makes sense, but it also doesn't. Basically, they're worried, obviously, about collisions and not coordinating between civilian helicopters. But I'm like, I think those civilian helicopters know how to coordinate and communicate.
They know how to see something coming from a few miles away and also have CB radios that
and then they've probably been operating their vehicles for a long time and know how to do this thing. And in an emergency, I don't know why you're preventing them from contributing.
This sounds exactly like how New Zealand operated with that volcano eruption, where
this is also how they operated in Hawaii last year.
Jesus.
And we know that they hoard water during these crises. And I don't know if it's strategic, like they need to release it later after, if like that's whatever, but clearly like people need water now. Why are you hoarding it? Like,
well, that, and I didn't realize that the very small payout that
don't take the payout
was just basically you holding over your
property
all
rights.
of your property rights.
Supposedly. I would look more into the details of this program, but what I've heard is that, and obviously that could be tinfoil hat stuff, but I really don't not believe it on some level, because I've heard also stories of eminent domain already being used in places like
when you've got lithium mines
just
right on the horizon in a brand new facility. In the making, it's kind of crazy how natural disasters make way for industrial movements.
Yeah, well, we need all the quartz sands in North Carolina to make the AI chips. So
they're not even, and that's funny because like nobody's talking about the quartz sands or the silica sand.
Yeah, that's one. And then there's also
the lithium batteries that I keep seeing.
But that's both. Like there's
exactly right.
There's so many things. It started with the silica sand. Yeah, and there's other natural resources there that have interest.
And it's communities.
It's a very naturally rich
really
area.
Have no other way of. Why is our TV on?
Because it was on pause and before, and then it exited out of what we were in.
Sorry, that really fucking threw me through a loop after all of the shit that we've seen with that goddamn TV.
Occam's razor, though.
Yeah, again. We'll see what happens after that.
The simplest answer is the most rational one.
Absolutely.
And Netflix just
so wild.
Yeah, so South Carolina is where we left off.
Yeah,
this is how this rabbit hole kicked off.
1927. So she saw the beginnings of the major depression of the 1920s. Now we're going to experience the one in the 2020s. Her beginnings were tough. Her mother was an African and Cherokee descent, and her father was believed to be of European descent, but Eartha never knew it, and she faced poverty and discrimination growing up.
That's right. I don't know why that decided, right? Like, sorry. I
love the delivery.
Right. I mean, that's how it was written.
That's fucking funny.
But here, in the more somber tone it deserves, but even from a young age, you could tell she was destined for greatness. Her mother was sent her to live with an aunt in Harlem when she was around 8 years old. So this would have been 35. And that's when things started to change for her.
Harlem was the place to be back then. So much culture and music. Eartha got involved in performing arts at an early age. By 16, she had joined Catherine Dunham Company, one of the first all-black dance troops. I don't know. And toured with them.
It's troops. Yeah. And imagine being a teenager traveling the world and performing.
16, that's wild.
It was around that time that she really started to make a name for herself. Her first big break came when she performed in Paris at the Cabaret Carrels, I think. And the French audiences just loved her. They couldn't get enough of her sultry, smoky voice.
Oh my God. Seriously, though. Same. Paris was Eartha's playground. She became the toast of the town, singing in multiple languages and developing her signature prrr. And she became famous for. Soon she was rubbing elbows with some of the most impressive names like Orson Welles, who famously called her the most exciting woman in the world. I mean, coming from Orson Welles, wow. I mean, but seriously though,
what a war of the worlds there.
What an incredible woman. The most interesting woman, as they would say.
Yes, the most interesting woman in the world. She drinks Dos Equis. Then in the 1950s, Eartha returned to the U.S. and became a bona fide star on Broadway. She landed roles in productions like New Faces of 1952, where she performed the song Monotonous.
I'm so happy you had narrator one.
You didn't recognize Monotonous?
No, I was like, these are not prescription. I would have, I think.
Is that monotonous?
There was more R's in there than there were N's. Let's be real.
There's not a single R in there.
No, I know, that's what I'm telling you. It's like I should probably actually work.
I have a bad bout of monotonous right now.
So fucking funny. Let's not forget Santa Baby in 1953. That song is iconic.
I still didn't know that was her until like now.
And then
I thought she was just in the music
films. To this day, it's Hollywood staple. Like, no shit though. That's like to stand the test of time for 80 years at this point, 70 years.
It's a great song.
Baby.
It's very, as they said,
it's like chicky and like it's very brat. Honestly, I fucking love it.
Is it Brat Girl Christmas to accompany Brat Girl Summer?
Bring it on. And then we're just gonna have that little Polly Pocket era.
Although
God bless Chapel. She's not to pin a bitch against another, but like, damn, we just want authenticity. That's
I
all
don't know.
it is.
Too many rubber toys have been in the news lately. I think we need to cut that out.
Rubber toys. I don't know what that means. To this day, it's a Hollywood staple. I mean, who doesn't secretly feel like Eartha when they hear it? I mean, honestly, yeah, you're right.
I don't feel like Eartha, but I love Eartha for the song.
Like the vibe of the song, though, right?
Sure,
like
maybe
you
as
just like get into like a little bit of character.
Yeah, it feels very romantic and sexy in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sultry.
Exactly.
Chicky.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's a great Christmas song. That's why it's standing the test of time.
It's like it makes you feel warm on a cold summer or like winter night.
Yeah. Like someone's gonna cuddle up and hold you tight.
Wow. So good. You should write another song. And that was not meant to be sarcastic.
Can I use AI to make it again?
Can you just like take longer than an hour to post it so that like the like few things that you're like hearing that are incorrect are like changeable? Yeah, because it's like on blockchain, and the point of it is don't post that shit on my blockchain if it's not fully done.
Progress, not perfection.
Hell yeah, but do it on your own shit.
Yeah, well. Exactly. It's a lot of extra work
there.
to get
There's just so much fucking shit to do. Oh my god.
I did the damn thing. That's
you did the damn thing. That is the most important thing.
Eartha was on fire in the 50s and 60s. Acting, singing, dancing, you name it. And there was that legendary role as Catwoman in the 1960s Batman series.
I love it though. Thanks for that Freudian slip. And the fact that we were talking about Batman and Robin beforehand, I low-key like did not realize or forgot that she was part of Catwoman. So that's cool shit.
She was the first Black actress to take on the role, and she brought that same Eartha Kitt flair. Sassy, sexy, and powerful. Bad bitches of history. She
owned that role. But Eartha wasn't just all glitz and glam. She was politically active, which is why we love a multi-dimensional bitch. And here's where her story really takes a bold turn. 1968, Eartha was invited to the White House by Lady Bird Johnson to discuss the Vietnam War with other influential women. I did not know this.
I didn't know that.
Lady Bird Johnson. That's so interesting.
Yeah, that's her name.
I had no idea.
President Lyndon B. Johnson's wife's name is Bird.
Lady Bird.
No,
Is she related with Larry Bird?
That's all I was thinking when I read it.
Oh my god, the fact that my grandpa acknowledged my
this man sucks as a person.
No shit.
Claudia Lady Bird Taylor. Where does Lady Bird come from? Notably well-educated woman for a woman of her.
I don't have that name. She looks like look at that tall ass forehead. Yeah. That looks like a Claudia. Although I would have pictured blonde.
Well, the Alta in her name is where the high forehead comes from because Alta means high. Or tall.
Raise the roof. I mean,
Right.
I'm just like, just get some bangs.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm not. You're a very smart, successful person, and I don't mean to attack you for your looks.
Yeah, I'm not meant.
Um,
Yeah, that was very mean girl of me.
Right. You seem wonderful. Your husband sucks though.
But here's the thing: you don't join into evil empire without acknowledging it. So I'm like, those foreheads feels like they're covering up a lot of lies. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, he was just willing to go with the Zionists, and that's why he got to step in over Kennedy.
Again, her forehead looks like it's holding a lot of lies.
Yeah, well, that can be heavy. Heavy
Look
is the head that wears the crown.
The assignment with bangs in the beginning.
The Highway Beautification Act was formerly known as Lady Bird's bill because she wanted to clean up the freeways. That's interesting. Where the fuck does Lady Bird come from, though? That's all I want to know. Lady Bird. Oh, here it is. She was named during her infancy. Her nursemaid, Alice Tittle, said that she was pretty as a ladybird. Opinions differ about whether the name refers to a bird or a ladybird beetle, the latter of which commonly referred to as a ladybug in North America. The nickname virtually replaced her first name for the rest of her life.
Ladybug seems...
Her father and siblings called her Lady. Her husband called her Bird. And she used that name on her marriage license.
Bird?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's always sunny.
Right. Shut up, Bird.
That's fucking wild. She does look like a ladybug, though. Go back to that photo. Like her black hair
we'll
and
bring
the
it up
red.
there so that they can see.
Holy shit.
They didn't know who we were talking about. I mean, they did.
She looks like a ladybird. Like, she looks like a ladybug. She
Yeah.
looks like a straight ass ladybug.
She's dressed like
that
a
makes
ladybug.
so much sense. That's what I'm saying. Ladybird.
Do you think they chose that on purpose?
What a fucking psyop. I don't know, but I'm like, get bangs. That's all I gotta say.
This is the Jackie O. She had to model her predecessor. Her husband just died out in office. This is a tribute, clearly.
So tell me that this isn't just a like giant like machine that we just put figureheads in front of.
I don't know. It feels disrespectful, but I don't know. Probably is. Who knew what they were doing back then? I know what they're doing now. It's certainly a machine now. Although, according to Ayn Rand, it was the machine then. Because if you read Atlas Shrugged, which is written in the 1950s, it's basically like...
It's almost like we're just propagating the same shit. Because if it's not broke, don't fix it. And it's like, it is broken, just not for the people that set up the system in the first place.
Yeah, the way Atlas Shrugged is written, it's the politicians versus the industrialists. The way that the modern Atlas Shrugged would be written is the left-leaning politicians and the right-leaning politicians versus the industrialists. But they're all kind of colluding together.
The politicians are red or blue. It's not for you.
Yeah,
both of which are like playing with the same.
That's actually the tricky part. There are some politicians that are for you, and they have to play within the paradigm of red or blue. But then there's the machine that's playing behind the scenes that's funding both sides. And they've got people on the red team and people on the blue team. And so they coordinate them to be on the same team, at times. But you can't tell because publicly they're on the red team and the blue team.
How we can tell, but like how do we make it more apparent? Is that just basically showing the corporations for the like way that they sponsor the politicians?
I think what would actually be kind of cool is if we did like true Republican, true Democrat, and then true machine as our designation, and then look at their voting records. And then what we would do is basically cluster it around a 3-party assumption, assuming that there is a mega central party and then 2 minority fringe parties. And not label the actual position of the politicians, and then use their voting records in order to sort them into the groups.
Yeah.
Using a K-means cluster analysis.
That seems like something that one ginger-haired guy would be doing with his database for politics. You know what I'm talking about? I think he's on TikTok.
Pro-mania?
I don't think... I don't know.
Because I'm like, that dude just is a propagandist for the Democrats.
I mean, I don't know if that is him. But anyway, shit.
For the machine, I guess, but the Democratic side of the machine. Because, the machine has two faces.
No, this looks like him at all. Cause
Yeah.
like
People call it the deep state. People call it, whatever they want to call it. But it's the coordinated interests of big business and banking, which apparently is an anti-Semitic observation, but I don't get why, because Bank of America is an Italian bank.
interesting. Politics.
Okay. It's founded by prominent Italian Americans. They're very proud of their Italian American history. That being said, they're part of the problem.
Maybe. Apparently, redhead is too strong of a term. He's strawberry blonde.
But the bankers sold us out
a while back, and it's kind of crazy if you go back to that TikTok or the Titanic episode with.
Well, the bank, that was just this. That we fought to have the Federal Reserve removed and put back in this country multiple times. America doesn't have to fall. The Fed can just end, and we can just whatever. But in the future, people will fight to bring the Fed back. We know who's behind that fight. It's, for lack of better words, the International Monetary Fund. What they're doing. Do you know what they're doing to El Salvador right now because they've adopted Bitcoin?
No.
They are restricting the credit lines that El Salvador can access until El Salvador
chooses to pull out of Bitcoin.
Yes,
crypto.
Sells out of their Bitcoin and devalues their
entire democracy, essentially.
Right. They're like, El Salvador is too well positioned for the future to be independent of the IMF and outside of their credit control limits. And so they're like, we won't give you access to capital and liquidity today because you're holding too much of an asset that has a future value that we don't want you to have.
It's almost like when we were trying to get insurance policies, and they're like, no, you have to pull out of crypto because we don't want to have anything to do with crypto. I was like, you don't want to have anything to do with the future way of me being able to stay in life? I don't know if I want to opt in on that. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, crypto is the hedge against debasement or inflation, whatever you want to call it. But the bankers that are printing a bunch of money because they don't care about the dollar anymore, the writing's on the walls, it's basically just like, how quickly can you convert this into assets that are going to survive the fall of the US dollar? And no one can imagine the fall of the US dollar, but no one could imagine the fall of the Weinmark or whatever it was, the Reichmark or the fucking whatever mark, the German mark. I don't remember. But it went from $1 equaling $1 to $1 equaling $20,000.
Almost overnight,
yeah.
Right? It was almost like it was a coordinated effort.
Right.
To basically make sure that this is now a known, and that's what I don't understand though.
Well, so I can explain how that happened because it was in the pre-internet era.
Yeah.
The Forex exchange, which is the foreign currency exchange, the people who control the exchange set the prices between currencies. So what they did is that the currency exchange, on some level, debased the currency relative to all the other currencies. And if you look into history, the reason they did that is because they were moving off of the international banking system, like El Salvador is doing. Obviously, there's all the other, the Holocaust happened type stuff after that. But, it started with a banking dispute.
The love of money is the root of all evil, is what we get back to. And I'm just it's kind of crazy how this pursuit alone is just the epitome of evil.
Yeah, I mean, it's really that. The idea that there is going to be a good guy in charge of the money is just a fairy tale. It doesn't matter whether it's the current people in charge or the group that says they're the good guys that want to take over and be in charge. No one can be in charge. The money corrupts you.
Oh, that's so wild. It's kind of like a metaphor for parenting. It's if you have the control over the house, you want to maintain control. But the reality is they're beings on their own that you have to then allow for them to find their own journeys.
In psychology, the concept is called loss aversion because you feel the pain of loss twice as hard as you feel the joy of gains. So if you value the sense or feeling of control, the loss of control hits you harder than gaining more control. So yeah, these people are spiraling because they can see. Well, I mean, like, look at this. Hillary Clinton is going on different talk shows at the moment right now, promoting 2 talking points. The first talking point she's promoting is that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole pose a threat to the dollar and sovereign currencies everywhere. And she's not wrong. It does. Why? Because international bankers can't control the debasement of it. It's programmed into the currency. We no longer have to trust bankers to have citizens' best interests at heart because routinely they prove they don't.
And
That
not
being
to
said,
say that, yeah, one
she-
individual cog in a system is like nefarious, but openly we're all individual parts of a larger system that is set up to only allow a few people to win in the current state.
Right. And those people can't think of losing at all. And they're going to starve the rest of us to keep winning. And yeah, we're not going to go with that. So
Right.
let's pause on that part for a second. Basically, she's going out and telling the truth. Crypto is a threat to the sovereign currency of existing currencies. And so if you're hearing this out there, you should go buy these cryptocurrencies to protect yourself from the eventual collapse of those currencies. Because why would you take a boomer's advice? They're on the way out. That's why they're grasping so tightly to the past.
Right.
Pause there. She's also going around and she's talking about the need to have greater control of the misinformation pipelines on social media because
The
it's
same
not
media
safe
that
out
you're
there.
not able to control anymore. It's so crazy.
Right.
When you control all of the different channels and then there's still natural ways that come out of it, it's almost like it's designed to not be controllable.
Right. I don't see how censoring the public forum because you don't like the topics of discussion leads to a productive democracy. In no world is that democratic. In no world is that not fascism. And to the liberals out there and everyone who continues to support this regime, I'm like, you guys get what the problem is, but you can't acknowledge the fact that you got propagandized yourself because you're an intelligent, educated population, right?
The most educated find themselves into cults.
Right.
That's just like, that's kind of the natural like way that goes if you're not able to think critically about yourself and then also the environment in which that you choose to stay in.
If you blindly trust brand names because they come from this institution and they're published, then you're a part of the problem. Because if you don't do what Madison just said, you know, bullshit gets printed that just is blatant lies that is upholding mostly corporate academic bureaucracies and egos.
Oh, you know, Greta Thunberg, the creator of Barbie.
Isn't she the like protester in Sweden? Like the 16-year-old who's probably like 22 now.
She might be. Yeah, maybe I'm getting the two. So here's the thing. She basically, everyone was like all for her. And then she came out against Israel's genocide. Nice. Again,
Is this
the
her?
Palestinians. Yeah, I believe so.
Wait, what'd she do?
She came out against the genocide that Israel is committing against Palestine.
She's anti-Zionist?
And now every single large United States publication is writing smear against her. And it's like crazy how quickly they've switched their perspective.
Is that why they've chosen the photos they have?
Probably. It seems like it. I mean, ultimately, who knows? But Google is also in bed with a lot. So I didn't know that Google's CEO was married to the CEO of 23andMe.
No, that's not accurate.
Hold up.
What it is the former head of YouTube's, the CEO of YouTube's sister is the CEO of 23andMe. Anne Wojcicki and Susan Wojcicki.
Okay, let me find her husband.
Okay. I mean, there is a Google to 23andMe connection. It's just through YouTube through her sister, unless there's another connection. But, this just shows you, if you're not in the club, you're not going to be making the, I don't know, whatever.
Anna.
They let people in the club. That's how Diddy got in. Okay. Yeah.
It's your turn to read also. I fucking told you.
What?
Married Google co-founders, Sergey Brin, Anna Wojciechowski, May 2007. She married the co-founder of Google, the CEO of 23andMe.
Is that how her sister got the job at YouTube then?
Who the fuck knows? Honestly. Oh my God. It's just fucking nuts.
Well, look, here. At the end of the day, if our Web3 crypto company was successful, Daddy, we would be funding a biotech company that you started and bringing people we knew into it.
She married him in 2007, and her only notable, it says 2006 and beyond on her portfolio. That seems strategic.
Well, it might be that she doesn't have that much going on before then.
Maybe. I guess that's just the tale as old as time, right? Not seeing any value in the first part of your last name until something defines you. I don't know. I'm that's very fascinating that she was basically considered relevant in 2006 as the co-founder of CEO and 23andMe. And then also at 2007, when did they get together? This is very fascinating to me. Anyway, we don't have to go down that rabbit hole, but I will be later on.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Go blue, baby.
Ew.
I think he's a U of M guy.
Ew. That's not what you do after we just found out all of that fucking giant ass it feels like billionaire incest at this point. I'm sure they're all connected and can't not be. Wild.
Right.
I'm gonna get back to Eartha.
Yeah, I will in a second. I wanted to just see.
Michigan.
Nope, he's not that one. Larry Page is the one.
Related to Larry Bird.
Yeah. No, but nerd.
That's funny. Wow, he looks like Nathan for you.
Yeah, he does.
Nathan for you. That's wild.
I'm sure he's just as deadpan, but nowhere near as funny.
That was a pretty good show. If anybody wanted that recommendation corner, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean,
that was a fun little pandemic short.
Shout out to the founder of Totem, Neil Seekin, for that one. Go blue again for you, Neil.
Is that the guy
who hates me?
No, I'm talking about Nathan for you. Who hates you?
Neil Seekin.
Well, yeah, you said that. I don't know his relation to you.
So Matt and I were a part of his team starting a social polling app while we were in college.
Oh, Funnel?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we called our version of it after we quit his version of it, which was Totem.
This is very much like a Facebook.
Yeah. It would be if that became anything.
Sure.
I mean, in every way though, my project now is still that project.
In some aspects, yeah.
Well, I wanted to organize data from a crowdsource of people more effectively to answer questions. That's what I'm building. So, that's in a way.
While you find your missions and you continue to pursue them,
yep.
I'm sure he's taken his vision and taking it his way. It really is windy out there.
Right? Anyways, he definitely is, and he is an engineer at Snapchat now, so he's doing well.
Cool.
Anyways, she owned that role, Kathleen, by the way. But Eartha wasn't all just glitz and glam. She was politically active.
Bro, I read that part.
Oh, yeah.
But you can re-intro it because she was very impactful into the Vietnam War and with a bunch of influential women.
Right.
Which is why we got into the
Lady Bird discussion that took
Wild
us way
ass.
off the rabbit hole. But you know,
Jesus.
our show wouldn't be good without the
Welcome
rabbit
to the
holes.
show.
Okay, it says this part gives me chills. Eartha did not hold back. She openly criticized the war, saying, "You send the best of this country off to be shot and maimed. They rebel in the street. They don't want to go to school because they're going to be snatched off from their mothers to be shot in Vietnam." Her words were powerful, and guess what? It didn't go down too well with the government.
That sounds about right, but stand up for what you fucking believe, and God bless a bad bitch that does it, especially in this like context, considering everything. Like
Historically, it's always been Black women who stand up to do it. So
sounds about right. If
feels
nobody
like she's
else
just
will.
honoring a tradition.
I mean,
But thank God.
that's the people of
We didn't need to waste those lives.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, the CIA literally opened a dossier on her after that. She got blacklisted in the US for speaking her mind, but did Eartha let that stop her? No. She went back to Europe and continued performing. Eartha was fucking unstoppable. God bless her bad bitch.
And
She's
obviously
like,
the
fuck you.
blacklist burned off because she's clearly the voice of Yzma.
I mean,
So,
like the fact that
She's
it's
the voice of a children's generation.
yes, 40 years after the situation occurred.
Yeah, but she already has an amazing, successful career going on, killing it.
God bless.
Obviously has
Being
difficulty
your
and
authentic
hardship.
self.
Right.
Because if she was
She's
only
like,
to
I
get
can
in-
roll with these punches, just go,
Totally.
keeps going. And then obviously she's still famous. Her song still slaps to this day. She's still everywhere. So they're like,
Apple, keep doing your own fucking thing. Be your authentic self and don't let any media tell you otherwise. You are
Sure.
a goddamn queen, and Eartha knew it, and everyone else who can speak for themselves knows it. Not everyone's gonna like what you say.
I'm gonna shout out Kanye for that one too.
Sure. Sorry you had to go on meds. That sucks.
Yeah, that's fucked. Definitely unstoppable. She came back stronger in the 1970s today. So
Good.
let's,
Okay, well, it's so long. All right,
let's
good.
forget her later resurgence, like voicing Yzma in The Emperor Through a Groove. I mean, who didn't love her in that?
I mean, fuck. Yzma was peak. Hilarious, dramatic, and full of life. Her comeback wasn't just about staying relevant. It was about evolving with the times, and while staying true to herself, she was embracing new roles and made them her own. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't wait for Halloween.
Eartha didn't just act or sing, she embodied her roles. But one thing she never let go of was her activism. She was always an advocate for the underdog, fighting for civil rights and social justice. In the early 2000s, she even spoke out in support of same-sex marriage.
Love who you love, as long as you're respectful and also not predatory. Exactly. Eartha was ahead of her time, and she kept performing practically until her final days. And God damn it! Oh no! I mean, December 2000. She passed on Christmas. Santa baby passed on Christmas. 2008. That feels like too well played.
Yeah, she did.
But even in her last year, she was still working, still singing, and still captivating audiences. She didn't get killed, right? Because
doubtful. She was probably.
She was 2007.
She was like 80s and 90s years
yeah,
old.
1927 to 2008. Hey, my grandma was born in 2027 or 1927.
I was gonna say your grandma in 2000.
Like my great grandma, Tippin.
Yeah,
Tippin was 101 this year.
I'm pretty sure my nanny was born in like 22 or 26 or 27 or something.
That sounds about right.
I forget which one, but it was in the 20s.
I'm pretty sure my grandma was 2020 or like 1922. Because if she was 101 and she died last year, 2023?
Yeah, that would have made 22 or 21 be 101.
Yeah. That's wild. Damn, that's a long fucking life.
Yeah.
And her best memories were like traveling to school on horseback 3 miles, and she knew the direct
At least
route.
she didn't have to walk, 5 miles to school uphill both ways. I've heard that was the time,
That
trouble of the times. She had a horse.
Well, that was the situation. Is they finally got horses, and she was stoked about it. That's probably why it's one of her favorite memories is the fact that she didn't have to do that 3-mile walk anymore as like a literal fucking like 5-year-old. That's nuts.
Yeah, I walked a mile and a half to school one time. It took me 25 minutes, and I was miserable.
Yeah, it's just like we do not give credit for the simplicities that life were at that point in time.
I was walking alone. It'd probably be more fun if you weren't walking alone.
Yeah, I don't think walking with your sisters was necessarily fun when you were at that point in your time, especially hearing the stories of her older sister just being like, you get out and push the cart because the horse needs a break. That's fucking hysterical. Oh my God, God bless.
Talk about putting the cart before the horse.
LOL. Oh my God. Oh, I can't believe she died on Christmas. That's still so crazy.
It's kind of perfect that she passed on Christmas Day, right? Like a full circle moment. The woman who gave us Santa Baby leaving on a day so connected to that song. Eartha Kitt's story isn't just about fame, though. It's about resilience, fearlessness, and staying unapologetically true to yourself.
They always really like encapsulate the bottom of these very well.
I asked them to.
Sure. Well, we can keep that as far as like writing our portfolio of them. Absolutely. From poverty in the segregated South to international stardom, from political outcast to beloved cultural icon, Eartha Kitt's life was a testament to strength and talent. She purred and she roared and she left her mark on this fucking world forever. God bless this bad bitch.
Peace.
Truly. Oh my God. Can we see an a video of what she may or may not like be? Do we want to like close out doing that?
You want me to take her to a runway ML?
Yeah, I want to see her animated.
Okay, we'll see what we can do then.
Cool.
I guess everyone, you will see me do the work today. We won't mint it.
Yeah, I want to see what the story comes up on Eartha Kitt for. And thanks for joining.
There we go. So we'll take that one and we'll download it. We'll go over here into our downloads and I'll click refresh. We'll open it.
I suppose we didn't animate Joan, but that's okay. We'll
I've also been
find iterations for her.
I've also been doing this AI project
For
Playhouse.
Oh yeah.
And I'm pretty proud. This is the front end. I kind of broke it in the process of making it better, but I think it's still okay enough to show at the moment. But I was really pissed on Friday. So it might also really be ugly again. So I'm using this tool called cursor.ai, which basically is a code base you can chat with. And so I started building this directory of stuff over here and made my original first files super well. So I started asking it to do it for me.
Interesting. I would have never guessed that this was the same platform digitizing MPG files or like JPEG files and also creating a front end software.
So Adobe Illustrator is not Adobe's tool for that. Adobe's tool is called Dreamweaver.
Okay.
Like I said, I was in Cursor AI. I just jumped over to Adobe Illustrator, which just happens to be AI also.
Interesting.
But I started my server over on cursor.ai. so that I could show off what I built. So this is where the platform's at right now. So ugly, but light mode, dark mode still works.
Ooh.
And the collapsible bar still works ish. It's still, but like in navigation, it's not. It's supposed to be right next to it, and when you click it,
it's just like its processing power is not there. So
yeah, I'm running a lot all at once.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and then if I go here, this is the main thing that I built that's cool. It pulls in the data. Oh, please don't tell me it's broken. Oh, thank God.
Just gotta give it time.
Right?
Patience is a virtue. I'm gonna go grab a pie.
Oh, nice. The ad cost dropped huge yesterday.
Woo! That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, can't spend too much. Anyways, we'll sign out so we can finish the Eartha Kitt thing. I was very proud of that, though. So I'm going to close this out so we can get more capacity back. My computer's not. Nice. You made us. Is it dirty chai?
Just a regular one. Didn't have
Does it always come out this color?
Usually it's a little bit darker, and then you can add milk to it. Is that 2-color?
Yeah. Let's go to 16 colors. I feel like this is going to be the one.
I was like, she has so many different fucking shots of her over the years, which is very counter to a lot of the bad bitches that we cover. And was very hard to choose which incredible way to remember her by. So I just chose a bunch of different headshots that I felt like.
Well, we'll need more color than the 16.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So we'll bump this to low fidelity photo.
For a high fidelity bitch.
It's nice that a lot of the work is just waiting for the computer to do the work.
Yeah, well, I can't even imagine trying to do this. Ooh, nice.
Cool, much better.
Yeah.
So we'll save this. No, export.
Ooh, fun. The peacock feathers came in pretty well. And it doesn't look like apparently awful, like it's covering her face too much. It adds to the shading. I like it.
Yeah.
I had to cut those down.
Like a fan.
Yeah. What a dope ass bad bitch. Take a drink every time. I'll have to figure out when we're going to chat next week.
Right. Well, we just did.
This is for this week, but we're going to have to figure out how we're going to figure out next week, right?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now we can go to Runway ML. And how do you want to bring her to life?
I feel like each one of the background characters is like her,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's gonna be hard to do that. So you know.
Well, we'll see what it fucking does.
Free up more bandwidth on the computer.
Yeah, it's definitely not our fiber optic.
Yeah, we only have 100 megs here, but also get off Spotify. We had way more heavy things running, like Adobe Illustrator and Cursor AI, but those are back off. And now Chrome is the heaviest thing running. And that has to stay up. We're going to close that one. We're done with it. And I'm going to close some of these to help, because you'd actually be surprised how much of this actually weighs things down.
Definitely seems to be processing better.
Yeah. Right. Anyways, now we can pull in our asset, and here's Eartha Kit, and we're using Gen 2.
From singing to Catwoman.
That's not going to be helpful.
Okay, well.
Bring the women of this portrait to life with subtle movement.
Of the great Eartha Kit?
Nope.
Okay.
It's an image model. That's not going to be helpful to it.
It's also AI, so I have to imagine that like it's able to pull some sort of information from the internet.
Right, and it will add stuff. I mostly wanted to focus on what's there.
Alrighty.
You describe the scene you want to bring to life from the existing image.
Sure. I was gonna give it more details to do so.
More details are generally good, but when you're trying to paint a picture, 1,000 words will mess it up.
We will see what happens. Her nose looks like it's perpetually tickled with the peacock feather, though.
It does. 69%.
Goddess. I think I like the white tiger on the bottom. I painted her hair also.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Was that during June?
Yeah, that was in June. That's crazy.
All right. Let's go full screen and see how Runway ML did. We use the second gen version because it's cheaper. It's got the legendary Catwoman fading.
It doesn't feel like it's doing anything.
I mean, it's separating the foreground from the background and the various elements from each other.
Yeah, I hear you. It doesn't feel like it listened to the prompt though.
Bring the woman of this portrait to life with subtle movement. Want me to try again?
Sure.
What would you like me to say?
Make the background, bring the background women to life with singing, acting as Catwoman. Details. I don't know. I want to fucking see what happens. Good call out. Bring the background women in the life to life with singing, acting as Catwoman, posing as a model, and standing as an activist, while the woman in the foreground with the tiger rug. Nice. All right, sure. That sounds about right. She gets very like Cleopatra vibes. We have to go to one of her videos talking about land because she's just too cool not to.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes. Eartha. Eartha Kitt Best interviews land. Gorgeous. And we're only, hey, what a jump. I set us up for the videos also.
Nice. I had to use the restroom.
I know we've been going. Okay. See what we got. Ooh, hell yeah. Oh, it's not exactly right, but it is.
A weird feather.
Yeah, I did.
No, that's her leg.
It is. I know. It's like they don't know how the feather thing works. That's so interesting.
I kind of like the first one better, but you got more movement out of this one.
It's so fascinating to see how that all played out. Her dress being the like feather thing is very odd. It's crazy how they played with her hand though. Holy shit. And like it was so tucked up underneath the feather.
Yeah, it was. Interesting.
That is so fascinating. Anyway,
so, that is AI. I don't like either of those.
Yeah, we'll find a better iteration, but I mean, God bless this bad bitch. That's just incredible. I love it. We'll reiterate on that one. We'll find something cool and, stay tuned for the NFT drop of her because she'll continue to evolve like the rest of us.
Yeah. You gotta collect them all. That's how this works.
Exactly right.
Just like Pokemon. Everyone loves that.
Well, fuck. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. I'm not sure how far along we've been, but I have to imagine we've been doing this for a minute.
I'm not sure what you're looking at right now or why you're looking like this.
It's 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's what I was looking for. I was like, this feels like we've been doing this for a minute, right?
Yeah, we're at an hour and a half.
I love how
more
we've
or
gone
less.
from like a 20-minute show to
No. That was the plan. We never executed. The shortest we did was 45.
Is it really that?
Yeah. Do you want to see?
Well, I have to imagine there's a decent amount of like pretty quiet content in there that's like cut outable, but
Yeah, I mean, when we pare it down, I'm sure our shortest episode does get shorter.
Nuts.
But like, if we just go right,
We're not trying to like outlast our latest either. It's just
no, we have
of,
longer
like...
ones, so don't worry.
Okay.
Oh, here we'll go to the playlist because it's easier.
Funny as fuck.
Here are the videos. Oh, 39 is our short. 29 is our shortest.
See, I was like, I know we definitely tried to shoot for 20.
Yeah, we did. And we started going long right after that short. And then
didn't get enough.
This is our longest one
I
in a while.
fucking called it. Oh my god.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up
Yeah.
here and say thank you for joining us for another episode of Weekly Mojo with your host Madison Jessica. Like, subscribe, follow, and more.
Dr. Biz, whatever.
Here on Playhouse TV at our barn location. Look us up on Airbnb. Next time you're in Ann Arbor, you can stay at the barn.
Enjoy the leaves.
Support Madison Jessica, because I can.
And all the sunny days. Oh my god. I hope we get there. We'll get there eventually. Oh,
yeah, we're doing fine. I'm
yeah.
making good jokes.
Handed in there. Time will tell.
Anyways, this is another episode here in the Playhouse.
Stay tuned.
Like, subscribe, follow for more. Too many of you are falling off.
Oh my god, shit on this.
Yeah, well, so to be fair, we recruited them under the guise of Yumi and ChatGPT, and we're providing them with this content.
Oh yeah, no, we are not the same. I mean, like,
I'm the
you
same.
and Rich, but I go a little. Well, I guess we are different fonts, I suppose, of the same genres, but we are not the same crowds. That's
well, no, we use AI tools here. We just don't focus on it. We do talk about the conspiracies over there, but usually less aggressively, more business minded.
Again, it was like different crowds. People are here for, I don't fucking know why people are here. Stay tuned.
No one's here right now.
LOL. Have a good one. I'm excited for donuts.